guys, welcome back to Geek and Plunder. I don't know about you guys, but I have really been enjoying all of the content that we've been getting on Disney+. I mean, it is all of the franchises that I've loved over the years coming all together under a big, and sometimes scary name. There are some things that you can say about a monopoly, but up till now, I do feel like they're doing some interesting things with franchises like Marvel and Star Wars, whatnot. So I'm quite happy to spend some money every month to see some awesome series. And especially when it comes to Star Wars, it is nice to see that world fleshed out a little more. I mean, for a lot of people that have been reading the books, the comics, and watch the animated series, there is already plenty there. Some is canon, some is not. But with this series, we know everything that they're kind of putting out there is canon, and it helps us to build the whole storyline. The first time I saw those movies back in, I don't know, it was just a single story. And now all these years later, it really has become a universe. It is heartwarming to see something that I've enjoyed as a kid being further developed into what it is today. And I know there's people out there that won't share my opinion, but that's fine. If I had to make a top 3, I think The Mandalorian would be on top. And not because of Baby Yoda, I think, but just because it kind of gave us an insight on a group of people that, for me at least, have always been a bit of a mystery. Now, another one that I enjoy really much that I'm watching right now is Andor. Andor is unique in the way it builds the world in a more grim and dark direction. It feels sometimes like they're combining Fallout with Star Wars. It's quite unique. And the other one that is definitely in the top 3 is the Obi-Wan series. For me, as a fan of the first hour that saw the old movies, it is interesting to see what happened to the old man. When the newer movies came out, I can't even call them the new movies anymore. Suddenly, that old man that we knew from the first movies was really young. But what happened in between? What happened in between Luke and Layla being born and them being, well, semi-adults and taking on the Empire? And again, people do have remarks and questions about the way they developed this, but there are so many options, there's so many ways to go that you can't please everybody. And I found it an interesting story because it added a lot of depth to his character. I mean, we all kind of enjoy that hero that stays a hero throughout their whole life, that never blinks, that never fails, that never even doubts themselves. But the whole storyline about Jedi, if you ever played Star Wars The Old Republic, the game, you know that their whole career, is it a career, a Jedi? Well, their life path is beset with all kinds of challenges, basically. And just like normal human beings, the fact that you're getting older, that age is catching up with you, is one of the biggest challenges you need to get yourself over. That being said, I just really enjoyed that storyline. There is one thing, however, that we see coming back in all of these series and all of the movies in the recent years, maybe ever since the old movies were released. And that is that every of these movies or series needs to have this little creature. They all have that one little cute thing that is so easily to capitalize on with merchandise. It's smart, but it's becoming a pattern that is kind of obvious. The thing is, we keep falling for it, me included. And it all kind of started with R2-D2 and C-3PO. And in the newer movies, it was BB-8. Let me show you. Just to kind of prove my point that I keep falling for it, but yeah, we got this one in Disneyland. It is a BB-8 that can actually kind of roll around, and we got it because he's so damn cute. I love how he's kind of photobombing at this point, he's just leaning in. If I go back to my top 3 favorite series, The Mandalorian, that is of course Baby Yoda. And another which is still ongoing, it is B2 Emo. It is the little square robot that stutters. And Obi-Wan, that was Lola, the little robot that Princess Leia had with her. And to further prove my point that I always keep falling for it, I got myself a Lola. It is another Hasbro toy, and it has animated features, and it makes a lot of noise, apparently. Let's get it out of there. Okay, what do we have here? First thing, the legs. She has actually 2 ways that you can display her. One is with the legs, and the other one is on a sort of hovering stand. And this is the hovering stand. Oh, wait. There's 2 pieces to this. Oh, well, it seems that the legs also have a small stand. And this is the little hovering stand. The Star Wars logo. That looks sturdy. This is Lola. She has that red and white paint job that we've seen in the series, with small golden accents on top. As you can see right here. I think she was pretty expensive, like in the story, because she was actually a princess. So I don't think she was one of the cheapest series. I saw some people complaining about the fact that the paint job is so crisp and clean, while Lola was a little dented. She had wear and tear. But you can fix that yourself. I kind of like it this way. There's a small antenna you can put up. At the bottom, there's a plate that has screws, and under that plate, you need to put in batteries. So the first thing you're going to do is kind of screw this open and put in batteries. There we go. It takes these AA batteries And it takes 4 of them. He's already making noises. I guess that was the confirmation that the batteries are in. Put the lid back on. Sitting around. She's not active just yet. Now the thing is, at the bottom you can see this hole. It also doubles as a button. This is where you put the stand, and by pressing down on her, you activate the button and she'll start talking. Let's start out with the legs. She's making flying sounds. Oh, that was actually pretty easy. There she goes. Maybe I should put her antenna up. Hey! Oh! I'm trying to put your antenna up, lady. No need to get angry. There should be 3 ways of activating her. The first one is just to push on her head. That will press down the button. The second one is by talking to her. And the third is by clapping your hands. When she is on this little stand, she goes in walking mode. So the sounds that she'll make depend on which stand she is on. So if she doesn't have a stand, she'll make more flying noises. If she's on the hover stand, she'll also make some flying noises. And when she's on this stand, she'll make no flying noises and just kind of keep babbling, as she's doing right now. I kind of like the flying stand better because I feel the shape of her is so circular and the legs kind of break that feel to it. And I feel that is the case with a lot of these Star Wars droids, is that the legs are very straight while the bodies often are very rounded and have very interesting shapes to them. I always feel like there's a mismatch between the top and the bottom of a lot of Star Wars droids, and this is the case with Lola. But it's not personal, Lola. You're beautiful. Yeah, I pissed her off. She just shut herself off after a few minutes of just yapping. She'll go in standby, which is good. You don't want this to be on all night. Now let's put it on the other stand. I'm kind of worried, to be honest. Removing the stand always feels like, oh, you're about to break her. Listen. Let me hold it to the microphone. Can you hear that? Yeah, Lola, give me a second. Are you growling at me? Please. I love the way she animates. So basically she kind of tilts and she has the little flaps that she uses on top of the voices that she does. It is another nice Hasbro product. I have a lot of Hasbro toys by now. I got the Thor hammer, I got the Eye of Agamotto from Doctor Strange, I have the gauntlet. I do feel like they managed to capture the essence of all these products or these devices into these toys. Lola has this little bit of whimsical to her, and they translated that really well. The way she kind of moves and looks at you and does the thing with the wings. She's like communicating. And they basically did the same thing with the Eye of Agamotto. Not that the Eye of Agamotto is whimsical, but it has that essence to it. You know, you can remove the stone and it's still lit up. Is this one made by Hasbro as well? I don't remember actually. Well, I'm looking forward to see what the partnership between Hasbro and Disney is going to kind of bring in the future. If you're a Star Wars, an old school Star Wars fan, this will probably not interest you because it is a little too recent. It feels a little on the nose that this character was put in there just to sell merchandise, which is the truth. But if you enjoyed Obi-Wan, this will be a nice one to have. I know my girlfriend is going to be extremely happy to put this in her studio, in her office, in her little space up there. It is a well-made product. It's sturdy. And as strange as it is to say, it looks kind of real. It's an imaginary product, but still, it's a good job. I hope you guys enjoyed it too, because that was the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to check out this weekend's episode of the Geek and Plunder podcast. That will be coming out on Sunday. We'll be discussing Star Wars, these characters, these toys. So go check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you can find your podcasts. We'll be there. And I'll be back with a new video in 2 weeks. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.